Woohoo! Today is gonna be a good day. You know those days where you just wake up and you feel pumped and ready to go? Today is one of those days. The reason being is that 1, I got 9 hours of sleep last night. 2, I'm wearing my flamingo shirt. Have you ever seen a shirt that's cooler than this? And 3, I am clean shaven, fresh haircut. Everything's nice and lined up. Can you see how clean that line is? It's gonna be a good day. Okay, side tangent though, yesterday was so freaking cool. So last week was my birthday and my wife, so cool, she got me this beard service. And I know JJ Buckner, you're probably like getting these left and right with your massive, incredibly just amazing beard, but I had never done it before and it was so freaking cool. So I went to an actual barber, it was heaven. They've got hot towels, they've got the whole like beard oil, they shave you with like a straight blade. This was mind blown. If you haven't done it before, try it, highly recommend it. Women, you may not need this, but men, highly recommend it. Treat yourself.
3 words for you, treat yourself.
Treat yourself 2011.
Now, if all of that wasn't enough, another awesome thing about today is we're talking about making money. And who doesn't like making money? Like, that's one of my favorite things to talk about. You guys already know that the first way I like to make money and the first thing I love talking about is real estate. That's what this channel is all about. But 2, my second favorite way of making money is through websites. I think many of you have seen my video playlist talking about how to start a web hosting company. If you haven't seen that, be sure you watch that because that's really the cherry on top of all of this. And it's the reason why I build websites in the first place. So again, if you haven't seen that, link in the description below. But in addition to that, outside of that, another way that I make income is by charging people to build websites. And it's so easy. I'm really surprised that more people don't do this. I find someone who needs a website, I charge them a flat rate, and then you make bank. And typically speaking, you make around $150 an hour building out this website, which is way better than $10 an hour. Probably not even that, $8.50 or $9 an hour at McDonald's. I mean, it's so easy. You get to work at your own pace. You don't have a boss and it's awesome. Okay, so here's how it works. And I'm gonna answer all the Q&A questions, like the basic things that people are probably gonna ask at the end of the video, so stick around for that. So what I do is I find a client, and typically speaking, that's a local business owner, and I'll charge them a flat rate to build them a website. And I've got 3 different tiers. I've got an $800 tier, a $1,200 tier, and a $1,500 tier. The $800 tier, this is nothing fancy. Like, this is a maximum of 5 pages. There's nothing crazy going on. Like, it looks nice, it's still clean, but it's mostly informational. The $1,200 tier, it's a little bit more advanced. It's got some nice UI elements, a couple pictures here and there, still clean, still very nice. But the $1,500 tier, that's the big fancy one. Super modern, super clean, super crispy. It's got some really nice UI elements. You've got sliders, you've got things like event calendars, you've got payment gateways, so you can set up a shop if you want. You can accept recurring payments through PayPal, whatever they want. But that's the one I typically push clients for because the $1,500 one is not exponentially more difficult than the $800 one. And that's good because most of the time, the $1,500 package is what people kind of tend to lean towards because they want something that's going to be modern, they want it to be fresh and clean and usable, and they don't want it to be super outdated by year 2 or year 3. Like, this is something that's going to last a good 5 to 7 years without needing to be updated. Okay, now here is the best part of all of this. Most of the time, 99% of the time, these websites don't take me more than 8 to 10 hours, and that's for the most complicated ones too. I can bang these out in 8 to 10 hours, hand it off to the client, and it's done. So you might be asking, Bryce, how is that possible? This should take you 40, 60, 80 hours. No, not at all. I go to Theme Forest, link in the description, and I actually have the client pick out a template or a theme that they like. Once I have that, I build it out for them. Whoa, Bryce. You mean you tell the client that you're just gonna pick a theme and build a website for them? Wait, and the client's okay with this? Why would they hire you when they could just do the exact same thing themselves for free? Because they don't know how. Most of the time, clients don't care. In fact, they like the idea of being able to go and pick a theme that they want. But if you do have a client that complains like, you're just charging me to pick a pre-built theme, what I end up telling them is this. I say, hey, John, I realize that yes, it's a theme, But rather than spending 80 to 120 hours to build you a theme from scratch and just reinvent the wheel, why don't we find something that's close, because it saves you time and money, it saves me time and money, and then from there we can just customize it and build it out exactly how you want. Let's find something close and then customize it to your needs. And after I explain it to them like that, I've never had a client that's unhappy or decided, nope, I'm not gonna go with you. Like 100% of all the clients I've ever had are 100% okay with that. And I'm not lying to them. I mean, really, if I had to build out this site from scratch and do everything just from a blank slate, it would take me 80 to 120 hours, and I would have to bill that to the client. So rather than charging a client $6,000 or $8,000 for all of these hours and charge them just a flat rate, they can get something that they already know that they like because they can see it, and then from there we can go and customize it and build it out to their needs. Okay, this is the coolest part of all of it though. I know I keep saying that, but this really is the coolest part. Let's say you build the website, you get a nice fat upfront payment, but after the website is built, you get a monthly recurring residual payment. This is where my web hosting comes in, and I highly recommend it. In fact, this is why I actually build the website in the first place, because I really honestly don't care about the upfront money. Is it nice? Yeah, it's great, but it's active income. And you know, on this channel, we talk about everything passive income. I wanna make money without having to work. And so that's where the web hosting piece comes in. The reason I build all of these websites in the first place is for the passive income. It's for the recurring revenue that I make after the site build is completed. I mean, it's fine. If I have to build the website, I mean, I'm getting compensated for it, you know, up front, and that's fine. But again, I'm doing this for the recurring passive income on the backside. So right now I've got around 70-ish clients, maybe a couple more. I can't remember exactly where I'm at right now, but around 70 clients, and every single one of them is paying anywhere from $15 to $75 a month. These are people that I've built websites for that after the site is done, I charge them a monthly hosting fee. The great thing about this is now I've got a revenue stream without having to do any additional work. Month after month, I don't even have to build the clients. It just automatically comes into my bank account, and it's easy and super simple. Okay, so if you're interested in doing that, be sure to check out my web hosting playlist. That goes over every single aspect of the web hosting business, step by step by step, how to do every process of it, like every single part, every piece, super, super easy, and the passive income is awesome. Okay, Q&A time. What if you don't know how to build a website? YouTube it. There are so many tutorials on YouTube talking about how to build a website. I build all of my websites on WordPress. The reason being is that there's a bajillion themes out there that you can choose from. And then the tutorials, WordPress, everything is super user-friendly. It's easy. You customize it, drag, drop. Occasionally you'll have to add a plugin here, change a little line of code there. So easy. Watch YouTube tutorials. Like I said, a good solid website takes me anywhere from 6 to 10 hours. If you're just starting out, it might take you longer. It might take you 20 hours. It might take you 40 hours. But the more that you do it, you'll get super familiar with where you need to go, where you need to click, and then it may take you 40 hours the first one, but you'll get that down to the 10 hours. I'd recommend that you start slow, start small, start with maybe building just a website for yourself first, and then from there you can reach out and build it for a friend or a family member. And then once you've kind of got 3 or 4 websites under your belt, then maybe I'd start reaching out, trying to get some clients, just because you want to make sure you know what you're doing before you start charging for your services. How do you find clients? This is a question I get asked all of the time. This is probably my #1 asked question. And right now, I've been doing this for so long that most of my business is referral based. People come to me because they were referred by somebody else who I built a website for. They say, hey, this was great. I love the website. Reach out to him. If you're just starting out though, obviously you don't have this word of mouth. You don't have all these referrals. So what do? What I do is I just kind of keep my ears open, and like maybe I'll be passing somebody and they'll say, hey, yeah, I'm thinking about starting this business. Ding, light bulb. As soon as I hear that, I know they're starting a business, likely they're gonna need a website. And so I'll ask them, hey, I build websites. Are you interested in maybe having a website built for you? The other thing that I do too is I reach out to local businesses, reach out to little mom and pop restaurants, who either don't have a website at all, or 2, have a website, but it's not very good, it's not very functional, it's not outdated, it's not mobile friendly. You know, all of these things. I've reached out to hair salons, I've reached out to restaurants, I've reached out to construction companies. I mean, you name it. Anybody who doesn't have a website or needs a website is gonna be a perfect client base for this, reach out to them, ask them. If they say no, no harm, no foul. Otherwise, you've got a job and then another source of passive income. What about domain names? Do I buy them or do I have the client buy them? Most of the time, I try to have the client buy them just because if something ever happens, they want to leave, they don't want to use me anymore, then you don't have to worry about transferring domain names and collecting payment for it. And just usually I have them buy it, they own it. But sometimes I do have people who are completely tech illiterate. They don't even know what a domain name is. And so I'll buy it for them and I'll just wrap that into the monthly hosting fee. I use Namecheap for all of my domains. I don't like GoDaddy or some of the others. Namecheap, in my opinion, really is the best. Link in the description below. Why would people even do this? Can't they just do this for themselves? Sure, of course they could. There are absolutely people who have the expertise, who have the know-how, who can build out a site. Great. Those are not your target client base. You want to reach out to the people who A, don't understand technology or don't want to try to understand it, and so you can do it for them, or B, they could do it, but they just don't have the time, don't want to deal with it. They would just rather outsource it to somebody else. That is your target demographic. Would you ever build a website if you didn't get the hosting? For me personally, no. I don't care about the upfront cost. I'm really all in it for the passive income. If I have to build the website portion of it to get the hosting, then fine, it's great and I'll accept the upfront payment. But if I can't get both, in my mind, it's not worth it. Now for you, it may be worth it to build out the website if they're hosting it with somebody else. Again, for me, I just don't care. I'm in it for the passive income, but this is also a good side hustle. $150 an hour is not a bad income. Okay, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you being here. If you have any questions on this, put them in the comments down below. I try to answer all the comments best I can. Sometimes I miss some, but be sure to comment down below, answer any questions that you have. Until then, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.